Let me know if we're live.
We're live.
Oh, we're live. Hey guys, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and Snaky Soul is, I haven't named him yet, but it's a little banana black pastel. We just used him for the thumbnail because today's video, I'll be honest, was an unplanned video. It's not fully about snakes. I might show some off if we want, and don't mind my room. Holy crap, I'm doing a lot of work in here. It's kind of a mess right now. But what we're talking about today is, in general, how we choose to treat people in this hobby. And whether that hobby is kind of twofold, the reptile community and also the YouTube community. Okay, on both of those fronts. I don't know how many of you have watched, but recently Brian Barczyk put out a vlog, which he puts out a vlog every day, but one of the more recent ones, where he kind of talked about some of the issues that he's been having to deal with because of people online. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. First of all, even though I'm sure he probably never watches this channel, if you do, Brian, understand that we see you. At least I see you. I understand you're human. We accept people for being human. Nobody's going to be perfect. Nobody's asking you for perfection, at least we're not. But when it comes to this, and if you guys comment, we'll have a spot for comments. That's why we're doing this live, because there's a chance to have a conversation about this. I want to have it. I want to have it right here. If anybody's got something they really want to say, we're open to hear it. Understand that's a conversation. That means you're going to have to be civil. If you choose not to be civil, I will just say something derogatory about me and your mother the night before, and we'll all move on. So, what happens is this. You have people that do YouTube or do reptiles, and in my vision, when you do that, you do kind of put yourself out there, and we make ourselves very, very public when we do this. You see everything I do, right, wrong, or indifferent, and people comment on it. Some people really like what we do, and we get more and more and more and more and more support. There's also a handful of people that don't like what we do, and that's fine. You don't have to like what I do. I don't really give a shit if people don't like what I do. It doesn't bother me a bit when somebody doesn't care for how I operate or how I do my life, or whatever they have to say. It's not going to change how I do things. They're really just wasting their breath. Usually, truth be told, and Question Girl can back me up on this, we have a good laugh about it. I think it probably, they can't hear you. They have to hear you. They can't see you, dear. It probably bothers her more than it does me. I kind of think it's usually funny, and usually I make a snarky comment back and block them and move on, because I don't want negativity on my channel. But that being said, we're at 15,000 subscribers. You take somebody like Brian, who's at 1 million subscribers. The people have gone out there and built entire communities to just be pissed at that guy. And I'll be honest, I don't get it. I really don't. I don't know what the hell people do that for. And if you watch that blog, it's pretty hard-hitting. And he lays it out there pretty open. And every point he makes, I think he's spot on what it's like to have a large collection. And you can see, well, maybe you kind of see my room. It's not a large collection. It's nothing on that scope of a lot of people. And we're still going to fight those same problems. I mean, when you have that many animals, you're going to have issues pop up every now and then. It's going to happen. We're going to make mistakes. We are. I've made them. I'm going to make a lot more. Hell, this might be one of them, getting on here live and doing this. I don't know. We'll find out. But we're human beings too. And if you expect perfection out of me, you're going to be wrong. If you expect that of Brian, you're going to be wrong there too. If you expect that of Justin Kublika, you're going to be wrong. If you I don't care who you're expecting perfection out of, you're going to be wrong and disappointed. I think as children, we look to meet our heroes, we think they're perfect. And as adults, typically we understand they're not. Well, people have gone out and they have tried so hard to bring him down. And the funny part is, when you look around this room, I wouldn't have this if it wasn't for Brian Barczyk. And that's not because I bought snakes from him. I had somebody say, oh, the other day they were like, made a comment, which was the funniest thing ever, because I looked at their collection online, it's pretty shitty. And they made a comment about our collection, because we purchased from BHP, must be low quality. I've never purchased a snake from BHP, but I'd be proud if I did. I just hadn't come across something I needed at the time when it was sitting there. The fact of the matter is, why I say we wouldn't have this without him, is the hobby would not be the size it is, for good or worse, without Brian Barczyk. He was one of the first people to really go mainstream on that and bring it to the masses through a new form when YouTube is kind of this little baby thing, and do it well. And so it brought tons and tons and tons of people in, right? You're talking people's by the tens of thousands into the hobby that otherwise wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be the basement breeder businesses like there are today without somebody like that paving the way. You don't have to like him. You don't have to agree with everything he does. But when you try to bring him down and destroy that, you should at least respect what his contribution has been to the hobby. And this isn't some crazy fan thing. Like I say, Brian and I aren't going to see eye to eye on everything. Okay? We're not. We're just not. We're not going to do things the same way. There are things that we do differently. Doesn't mean one's worse or one's better. Doesn't mean what you do different than what I do makes yours worse or mine better or vice versa. It's just different. But going on there and trying to bring people down, it can only be for two reasons. One of them is jealousy. I think a lot of it is jealousy. I'll be honest. And that's a real thing. Would I love to have a channel the size that he's got? Hell yeah. Would I love to have the snake collection he's got? Hell yeah. Would I love to be the first guy to produce things like scaleless, pinstripe, all of that? Hell yeah. And it's not just Barczyk. I would love to have the collection that Kevin's got over at Nerd. Who wouldn't? And if I said that a part of me doesn't go, damn, I wish I had that, I'd be totally lying. Okay? A part of me does. But instead of me going, damn, I wish I had some of that, I'm going to try to bring them down. No, screw that. I'm going to chase them. I'm going to try to build up to that level. I'm not going to try to bring them down. I've never actually talked to Kevin, but I have talked to Brian. They've always been very helpful, very legit in person. You know, whether it's him, whether it's Garrett DeMeyer, whether it's Justin, whether it was Ben when Ben was alive. When you meet those people who have been there and done that, they've always been very willing to help and very genuine. You know, so I don't understand why there's so much hate, unless it's just pure jealousy or pure, I wish I had what they've got, so I'm going to bring them down to me. That needs to stop. Like, what are we, fucking 5? I mean, seriously. You know, like, I know Question Girl teaches grade school, and grade schoolers act better than that. They're better than that a lot of times. Because adults will come in and say, we don't treat others like that. And that's not saying that you have to sit there and agree with everything somebody does, but before you get on, you know, your step stool and blow it to the world about how horrible you think they are, remember, you're seeing one piece. One little piece. This camera doesn't show you everything I do every day, everything he does every day, or anybody. It doesn't. You see what we want to show. And sometimes what we want to show, we don't present it the best, so we may not come out the best, or, you know, I do everything kind of just, bam, we put it out there. So there's that. And when you do that, you know, when you're only seeing that, then you jump on a high horse and you start berating these people, or in his case, you make groups on Facebook solely dedicated to trying to tear somebody down, which, God, I would hope people would have better shit to do in life than to make a Facebook group just to tear somebody down. If you have time to do that and spend time on that, I would challenge you to find a new hobby, but why do that? Like, Question Girl, why would people do that? Any idea?
Well, can you enlighten me? Because I've been teaching all day.
She has. She hasn't seen what happened. And I'll show her the blog that we're referencing, or the vlog we're referencing after this. But when you have a guy who's talked about that in the last 2 months he's considered, you know, ending his own life because of the crap that he's having to deal with from people just getting on there, it's terrible. One thing I would say, though, to anybody out there who is dealing with that, that's doing this type of work, you know, and again, when people get on there and complain about mine, I just don't really care. But you also got to remember, I've been a cop for 15 plus years. I've been spit on, hit, kicked, called names, had been threatened, had my family threatened, had my job threatened, had lawsuits threatened. My God, I could run out of all the crap that's been said to me. And typically when somebody comes up with something new, I laugh. I'm like, shit, I heard that one before. That's good. I'm going to put that in my scrapbook. So, but not everybody's going to feel that way because they haven't had to go through that. So when somebody's been just beat up so much, plus he's been beat up way more than I have, just because of the sheer size of our groups, that they feel like their only way out is to do that, and they start having those thoughts, and then they have to overcome that, which thankfully he did. Nobody should have to go through that. Like, nobody should have to feel that way. And all it would take was when somebody saw something they thought was a problem, go in and talking to him. Same with me. If you see anything I'm doing wrong, talk. If you message me and you come about it the right way, I'm not going to just tear you apart. He wouldn't tear you apart anyway, because he's actually a nicer human being than I am. I'm an asshole. You come at me the wrong way, I'm going to probably comment in kind, and that's a failing on my part. But if you come at him the right way, I'm sure he's going to respond to you when he can and tell you exactly what's going on or what you're seeing or if there was a problem, how he's dealt with it, those kind of things. That's how adults handle their business. If there's an issue, and I'll be honest, I've had an issue once with a really large breeder. A large breeder, wasn't Brian, it was a different large breeder. And I contacted them. I said, hey, this happened. I understand how it happened. And it was a missex issue. They were trying to find a way to take care of it. And then you know what? They offered a bunch of stuff, which I said, yeah, that'll sound great. And then I never took the stuff. And the reason I didn't even take the stuff is because at the end of the day, I felt it was enough that they just stood up behind their product and were willing to do something. I didn't need to go blast them. I didn't need to tear them down. Just like the other day when we did a rant video. I didn't go put that guy's name out there. That's not how I want to operate. Did I talk to him personally before then and say, hey, this is why I wouldn't do that to people. This is why I would operate? Absolutely. Did I tell him I was going to make a video? No, maybe I should have. I did tell him that I would not put his name on blast. And I didn't, and I won't. People have asked me, I won't do it. And I guess that's what I'm saying is go talk to people before you try to trash them. Because you're dealing with their livelihood. You're dealing with their feelings. You're dealing with something that they've put their entire life into. 28 years, I believe, is what he said. And, I'm only at 4 or 5, and I'm protective of what I do. Very protective of what I do. And, man, I can't imagine if somebody had a group about we hate.
Hold on, can I address really quick?
Sure, absolutely.
I'm the one who's reading the comments as they're coming in. Matt can't see them.
I cannot.
And I just want to make sure that as people are commenting, that same expectation that Matt is putting out there of people being respectful
we got a comment here. Let me hear
and mindful of each other. I'm noticing that there's some banter going back and forth that is starting to become negative. So
what's some of the banter on the negative side?
So I'm hearing that, or reading. I'm reading that there's a gentleman named Cameron who's wanting to post a link about the debate to help.
What debate?
Whatever the debate is about Brian and care for animals.
Because
it seems to be that people are more upset about Brian's care for animals regarding tubs. So hold on just a minute.
Okay.
But I'm noticing that Cameron is maybe having some negative comments from other people.
Okay.
When he's being very respectful and mindful.
Cameron's being respectful and he has a right
so
to say
I want to kind of throw that out there that
yeah.
This same thing that Matt is addressing right now with breeders respecting other breeders, the expectation is the same with our comments here. If you're going to have a debate within our comments, the expectation is that you're keeping it on the up and up and that you're still kind of like
okay, let me address something on the animal care really quick. And I haven't seen the debate, but let me ask you this. Is Brian in the debate?
Of course.
No, is he actually in the debate?
I don't know.
Like, whatever it is. Because if not, because there is one of his employees that left and posted a bunch of crap about the animals that he was taking care of. So a failing employee who had a long leash is the one who brought all that to the forefront. And it was literally the area that employee took care of. That's what Brian has had to say about that. When it comes to animal care, at one point the collection was 10,000 plus, okay, roughly. And he has employees. One of the reasons why I don't ever want to be that large is simply because I don't want to get to that point. And he shrunk it down, actually. Now, with that, when you have employees caring for all your animals, you become more of a people manager than you do an animal manager. And if you listen to him talk, and he'll tell you he's not perfect. One of the things that he did was he gave his employees a long leash and basically say, hey, how's it going in the Kluber room? Oh, it's going great, Brian. Cool. How's it going over here? Oh, it's going great. Cool. And he let it be at that, and he trusted them. So, yeah, was there some bad care there that happened? Yeah. And you can get that straight from his blog. Go watch it if you haven't. Well, after you're done here. Don't leave me. And then that employee's no longer there. And then that employee, after he got fired, is then when he blasted all of that stuff. Because when the day he did go check and find the condition, and then it changed. And so then he shrunk the collection down, has tried to be more hands-on with it, and have fewer employees that he can trust more. Because when you have people looking after your animals...
You know what? Fab62, with a comment making about child molestation, that's inappropriate and not called for. You look like a pedophile guy.
No, let me hear it.
Molesting children on their way to school.
Who said that?
This is Fab62.
Is he saying he's doing that?
I'm not sure if he's the molester or if he's insinuating that you're the molester. But comments such as this
are... 62, the only thing I've ever probably molested was your mother. I might be your dad, and I got a big cock you can suck. So if you are a child molester, that is the one time I do advocate going ahead and ending yourself. So, bye now. See ya. So Fab62 is being a little bitch, and so everybody can just kind of ignore him, and now we can all move on. Probably can't monetize this now, son of a bitch. All right, what else we got, dear? Let's hear some comments. Now it's time for open debate.
Okay.
Everybody feel free to say something negative to Fab62.
Hold on. Cameron's wanting to post a picture of one of Brian's retics.
Not here. It's the bubble picture, right?
I don't know.
It's probably the bubble picture. And, yep, I know which one he's talking about. That's it. And Cameron, you can respond if it is the bubble picture. And that's actually addressed. And this isn't going to turn into a place. And I appreciate how respectful you've been, from what I understand. So I want to say that first and foremost. But there isn't a way that I know of to post pictures in the comments. And we don't typically do links in the comments just because they get picked up by the YouTube spam filter. And we try to keep it from becoming advertisements for everybody else's stuff and keep it social, like locally on what we want to talk about. And yeah, there's a picture out there that was taken from a video where a retic was bubbling. And he actually talks about that in his vlog. I mean, again, I'm not saying the guy's perfect. He's not. Neither am I. Neither is Question Girl. Neither is anybody watching this. Fab62 is obviously very far from perfect. Jesus Christ, what a piece of shit. But everybody else, you know, I mean, none of us are perfect. We're not. We're not. I'll probably let Fab62 go now. I've done enough. Laugh at him. Anything else we got in the comments, dear? Because now's your time. I want to hear it.
Lee Harvey Oswald said that he unsubscribed because you're a child. I just want you to know that.
Lee Harvey Oswald did. Well, Lee Harvey Oswald, I was going to say you had a great name, and I'll miss you, buddy, but I'm not trying to be a child. What I'm trying to do is tell people to not go on there and bash folks to the point where they're wanting to kill themselves. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right. And it looks like I've had a couple of people who've commented, like, let's get Brian in on the debate so it's not a one-sided debate. Absolutely. But I don't see Brian in our house.
No, Brian's not here, and I don't think I'm debating against Brian. I mean, I guess the closest I can do is I could say, hey, here's a picture of Brian. That's the closest I can get to him in our house right now. And we're not debating against him. I think what they're probably referencing is the debate on the website. And like I say, unless he's talking about his own animal care, you got to take everything with a grain of salt. It'd be like two people going and talking about my animal care without me there. How do they know what I do every day? Are they here? They're not. I'll be honest. The only person who comes down in this reptile room every day is me. Every day. That's it. I'm the only one. Kurt isn't in here every day. Question Girl's not in here every day. I am. A couple times a day. You know, same with the rats. I'm not in there every day. Kurt is. The only one who really knows what's going on there is Kurt. I mean, it's just the way it works. So if there was a debate about how I care for my animals, I would hope I would be in on it. And I think Brian would deserve the same right. So, but he hadn't had that in those Facebook groups. That's the problem I have. And that's the issue I have, is a bunch of backstabbing. And most people who go on there and they talk and they run their mouth about it and they do all this, ripping into him to this point. And I'm not saying you got to agree with everything he does. Freedom of speech. Most of them would be happy if he would come and do something for them. If he would, you know, show up and let them in his film or talk about their animals. Most of them would jump at that chance. But then in the back room, in the closet, they're going, no, I hate that guy. I don't understand why. So anyway, any more comments before we get off my little soapbox here?
Well, we have some other questions.
Sure, that's fine.
So
ask away. This is a live video that was unplanned.
They're not related to the debate or to the video that you're referencing to.
Okay.
So the first thing I'd like to point out is someone's commented that Brian's dog apparently passed away over
Brian's
the weekend.
dog, it did. That was the last vlog that he posted yesterday. I wasn't going to really get into the dog because that wasn't what this was about. This was more about, and it doesn't even have to be about reptiles. It's just about when you go on there and you go on some people's comments and you make group and you just trash them and beat them and beat them and beat them and beat them. You know, you're going to have, that's going to weigh on some folks. And we as people shouldn't do that. That's what this video is really about. And that all of us who are doing this now owe, whether we like it or not, a debt of gratitude to the people who started it. You know, it's kind of like you can't talk about American history and not talk about George Washington, right? I mean, you talk about the people who started things, even though we've changed the country and we've improved things and, you know, on down through most of the time. You have to look at those pioneers who were the original people who started something. And Barczyk really did bring this hobby, the ball python portion especially, to the front. You know, some of the big pioneers were him and Kevin McCurley. McCurley also does some YouTube, but his YouTube has never been as much of a focus as Brian has. So he doesn't get as much hate out there because he's not putting himself out as much in the public. McCurley did a lot of publications and books. So that's what this is really about. But you can apply it to other YouTubes. You can apply it to any channel you want. I mean, if you go on some lady's channel who does makeup and you talk about how she looks and how horrible she is, and God, she should just, end her life because she's the ugliest person I've ever seen do makeup and it's horrible. Don't you think that's going to bother her? Why do it?
Yeah.
Like, why do people do that? That's what this video is really about.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So 3 things I'm noticing so far. People are wanting to see Sobek.
Oh.
And the carpet. And wanting to know, somebody questioned about pairing a bumblebee and a normal, and what would you get?
Okay, first of all, we'll address the Sobek issue.
Do we ship nationwide, and are we going to England anytime soon?
Nationwide, we do nationwide in the lower 48.
What are we doing for a honeymoon trip?
We're not going to England anytime soon, I wish. Sobek's doing great. He's not in the room. We're not going to show him right now. Here's why. Because Sobek, honestly, is... I only like to show things when I'm happy with the situation. And we're in the process of designing, and we will be building this summer his final cage. So I'm kind of withholding doing any Sobek videos until I get that done the way I want. And when we have that new cage and that new enclosure built and everything done, trust me, we're going to do building videos on it. We're going to do a lot of videos on him. We're going to try to do more with him. But that's why you're not seeing so much Sobek, because the glass always gets dirty, and it's just kind of a pain until we get that all done. So he's fine. I promise. They're coming. Give me some time. Bumblebee to normal, you'll get pastel, spider, normal, and bumblebee, 1 and 4. And then I think I addressed everything right there. Any more before we get off of here?
What's going on with the rack behind you?
Oh, yeah, that.
What is it?
It is a baby rack. It is empty.
It's a baby rack.
Yeah, it's been back there.
How many babies can fit on said baby
39,
rack?
But there's nothing in it. Get out of there. Get back. Go over here. It's disgusting over there. There's nothing. I haven't even got that thing ready to go yet. The reason it's pulled out is because I have a cord that's gotten bound in, which doesn't allow me to open the tub any more than that right now. So I had to pull that out so I could start working my way back there to find what's making that cord stick so I can fix that. We didn't plan on filming today, but one of my Patreon subscribers alerted me to that vlog, and I watched it, and I kind of thought about how do I want to address this my way. And that's what made me decide to film, was I wanted to talk about just treating each other with some respect. Because not everybody's going to handle that stuff that well. Me, I don't care. One guy had a child molester comment, and I'm sure he's gone or whatnot. And then you had Lee Harvey Oswald saying he unsubscribed. He probably wouldn't even subscribed originally. And I don't get too sensitive about that, but other people do. So, and I just don't see a point in the negativity. I don't. If you've got something that you think somebody's doing is a problem, take it to them and talk with them. That's all it is. Just take it to them and talk with them. All right, am I way off base? If I'm off base, say something. If you think I'm right, say something. Let's see what y'all got to say. Any more comments? Question, girl?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you going to Tinley this year? You and Kurt?
We talked about it, A lot of it's going to depend on a couple things. One, animals. What animals do we have available at the time? And I don't know, man. Like, I know how many clutches we're doing, but I expected to do about 6 shows last year. I think we did 3. Actually, I expected to do 7, 6 plus our local one, and we did 2 plus our local one. And the reason we did so few is we just didn't have the stock. Most of it had sold online or through our Patreon, and if I don't have the stock, I can't go to the show. At one point before Denver, I had closed down online sales completely. The only people who could buy were Patreon until after that show, because I was worried I wouldn't be able to take a full display. And then after we were done, we opened it back up. We sold most there. So, I mean, it's really dependent upon stock, and then of course time. What else is going on that weekend? I got to run my daily life, my work life. I got to keep Question Girl happy, and if we have something else already planned, like if it's the same weekend as my car rally, we'll probably be at the car rally again. If not, we will most likely be at Tinley. Tinley's on our list. I know we're talking about Daytona this year. We'll probably look at Denver again for sure. Wichita, if there's a good one for us that fits our schedule. We've looked at Nebraska. We've looked all over the place. Oklahoma. So we'll try to get some more things. Of course, Kansas City. So.
Are there any shows that you know for sure you're going to be going to this year?
I don't, but I will certainly post them on our Facebook before we go. So as I know, and the reason I say I don't know for sure is we're virtually sold out of all babies. We got a couple things we're waiting on people to finish paying on, and the rest of it needs shipped out. And I think I got a couple normals we may end up having. But, and I don't believe in counting my babies till they hatch. So until I have those babies hatched out and I know what I've got, then I'll kind of know where I'm going to go. But until then, it's hard to say, hey, I'm going to be here. because what if my incubator breaks and kills all my eggs, you know? So I don't want to make any promises until the time comes.
We have a couple people over in England who want to know, how can they get shirts, hoodies, hats, stickers?
Shirts, hoodies, hats, stickers. We do have shirts, but they're exclusive through our Patreon and at shows for the purple ones. We are looking at opening an online merch store eventually that will have a lot of other shirts, other things, but the purple ones we typically wear will only be there. A lot of special colors and things like that on the merch store. So that's coming. But again, working the day job, everything moves at a turtle space while I try to get that done. We've never done stickers. We can look at doing that.
So just to kind of clarify, because I have somebody who's a Patreon subscriber, they just want to make sure, they said, you know, hey, do you have shirts for sale? I'm a $5 level subscriber, and I won't get my shirt until after 6 months.
We don't typically sell them. And on the shirts, if you look at the prizes too, the shirts are the $5 level opens up all videos, all vlogs, all blogs, everything I do there, and access to all sales. But the $10 level is what opens up to shirts. I may work at doing something where we open up a shirt purchase for those of you doing 5 at a certain point, but we won't make those changes without kind of a vote on Patreon. Patreon's, it's more than just me who gets to make decisions on that. Everybody else that's there gets to kind of make decisions how that's ran. So yeah, we don't do purchase. That's the only way we've done those. And the reason we did that is because we held a vote on Patreon, and that was how y'all told me to do it with those purple shirts. So that's how we've been doing it.
And this is for Greasy You Know What. Of course we're cheering for the Eagles tomorrow. They haven't won a Super Bowl yet either.
I am going to go for the Eagles. It's not tomorrow.
No, Sunday.
Geez, Sunday, dear.
God, it's been a long day.
All right, anything else before we wrap up?
Yes, is today a big day for Camera Guy Kurt?
It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Camera Guy Kurt. Sorry,
yeah, we're having a request for a song.
From what?
We're having a request for a song.
I can't, it's copyrighted.
What? You can't sing Happy Birthday?
No, it's copyrighted.
Can you, try your best at beatboxing Happy Birthday?
It's copyrighted. Not going to do it.
That is bullshit.
It is bullshit, but that's the way it's going to work. All right, unless there's anything else reference topic, we'll probably sign off and get off of here. We good, dear?
I think we're good.
All right, like I say, one thing I'd ask of all of you, just remember when you say things that affects people. And I'm sure that most people on our channel that stay around are not going to be overly negative. So show that support if you can. If you feel like it, go make a comment. Because sometimes people forget that for every 100 people that like them, that support what they do, there's this one negative asshole over here, right? And so when you have 10 million, or in his case 1 million, you may have 1,000 assholes over here. And those assholes make a lot more noise, and a lot more comes out of an asshole than it does out of the good people. Yeah, there's kind of a pun there, dear. A lot of stuff comes out of assholes. And sometimes those assholes kind of take over. So every now and then it's kind of good, too, to go let those people know that you support. And I'm not saying Barcheck. It could be anybody you support. That you do support them, that you want to see them do well, and that you're there for them. Because I don't want to see people who put themselves out there. Because it's hard. It is very, very hard to go on here and open yourself up, and post videos and open your life up and how you do things. And, my room looks like total shit right now. Here I am. That is so difficult to do that when people do it, and then they get trashed for it, I have a difficult time with that. Yes.
Oh my gosh, too funny. John, that was just for you. And then I'm not sure if we want to see Question Girl doing females in the ball python hobby. Are there not enough females representing?
I don't know. There's a few. I know there's a channel called Joseph's Jungle. She has several ball pythons. There's a couple out there. We can work on something, maybe. I gotta be really nice to her, so we'll see. No promises. About the only person in this family who doesn't mind getting in front of a camera is me. Everybody else is kind of camera shy. So.
Well.
All right. Anything else?
And just for you, Anna, Cumpleaños feliz, Cumpleaños feliz, Cumpleaños feliz, Cumpleaños feliz. No, it's in Spanish. Yeah.
The only thing I know in Spanish is La Hamburguesa and De Donde el Baño, which means I can survive. For those of you non-Spanish speakers at all like me, that is hamburger and where's the bathroom. Everything you need to know to live in Juarez. Sorry if I just offended an entire city. Apologize. All right, guys. We love y'all. We'll catch you later. And hopefully this doesn't kill me but we'll see. All right, thanks for watching. Catch you later.
Bye.